Good morning, everyone. It's May 5th, 2009. I'm Dwight Schmuck. This is the Schmuck Look. And I'm really loath to do so, but I think it's kind of like sort of maybe a little bit necessary, to say it the British way, to talk about the Westboro clan again. And I call it a clan because, that's what the heck it is. Today, in the BBC, the seventh most popular story is America's Most Hated Family. It does seem that they pride themselves on calling, and I'm talking about the Phelpses here, the Westboro Baptist Church clan. There's 71 members of the church, and they are almost all family. Tells you something there, and it's headed by Gramps, Fred Phelps, the Reverend Fred Phelps, and it's based in Topeka, Kansas. Something to be really proud of there, right, guys? Anyway. And they've been doing, they picket soldiers' funerals that you died because America tolerates homosexuals and God hates fags and therefore God hates you, and God is going to make you pay for someone else's sins. Let me see if I have that right. You died because somebody else is sinning. Work it out. The math there just don't work. At any rate, these folks do seem to pride themselves on being the most hated family in America. The guy who did there's a film coming up on the BBC Sunday about them, and the guy who did the film spent 3 weeks with them, and it's in some ways this is an answer to their relatively normal, except with this obsession with the pickets, because again they picket soldiers' funerals, and which is really stupid to begin with, because you probably have other soldiers there. At some point, somebody's going to get hurt. And while the Phelpses do shield themselves with little children, sooner or later, somebody is going to do the wrong thing. Because believe me, I'm not advocating that at all. Believe me, you're going to traumatize the children. You're going to make them hate even more than what they're being taught to do by Gramps. Because that's the whole problem with this, really. Do you think you've come to an answer is the question about why they do this? And that is the big question here. Why would people do this? It is so cruel. You've already got grieving family, friends, comrades. And then to go say that he died because this other guy is doing something that God doesn't like. That is cruel. That's the ultimate in cruelty. And why they're doing it is I think we do. And I'm going to quote here. I think that the pastor is not a very nice person. I think he's an angry person who twisted the Bible and picked and chosen verses that support his anger, that sort of justify his anger. And he's instilled that in his children, and they've passed it on to their children. Although the second and third generation are by and large quite nice people from what I saw, they still live under the influence of their Gramps. And there's a lot of weird stuff in there. The guy's talking about the Bible in the second paragraph, answering the question. And when you take that and you add this angry, domineering kind of father figure, which is Gramps, and you add that he has sort of separated them off from other people, other families, and driven them to achieve a lot, and he was kind of a charismatic guy, and still is up to a point. He was a very verbal, very persuasive, and extremely compelling speaker. All these things added together combined to make a powerful influence. I've used the illustration a little bit in the past couple of weeks. But here again, so was Hitler. Folks, This guy is talking about hate. The God I worship is not about hate. The God I worship is about love. The God that I pray to doesn't say, I'm going to punish someone else for your sins. The God I pray to says, you know, okay, you're trying to live a good life and atone, and we'll talk about it later maybe. But I'm not going to punish this other guy for something you did. The God I worship is about peace, not killing, not cruelty. And I'll tell you something else, folks. She's all around us. You know, that's the whole darn thing here, is that, again, the guy has taken certain parts of a really good book and twisted them to justify his particular hatred, his particular bent. I also noted in the article, and I recommend you go to today's BBC, and like I said, it's the seventh most, at least when I read it, it was the seventh most popular story today, most read. And check it out. You know, really, you really should, because, you know, we got 71 people, and they're going to influence a lot of other people, because that is something else. The article says they go to regular schools, and, you know, it also said that, you know, they're quite willing outside of the church, and even willing at the church services. They will welcome gay people, homosexuals. They'll shake hands, they'll work next to them. And to my mind, it does show hypocrisy, because if you hate something so much, you're not going to be next to it, are you? Think about that. Hypocrisy, hate. Nope. Like I said, the Lord I worship, the Lord I love, and she is all around us, and I'm saying that on purpose because, hey, if God is everything, she is as appropriate to use as he. You got to think about those things too. You know, think about it, folks. The most hated family in America, I don't hate them, but I damn sure pity them. We all should. Think about that too. I'm Dwight Schmuck. That's today's Schmuck Look. Peace, everyone.